Nice people are not confident. You think so? That's what someone told me the other day, and it made me really wonder. Can being too polite and too humble actually make you feel less confident or make other people see you as less confident? I thought about it, and today I'm sharing with you two common habits that might be secretly messing with your confidence. And I'll also share some practical tips on what you can do instead. And if you want to hear the full story of who said that and why, stay with me till the end or find it in the timestamps below. Number 1, over apologizing and softening your requests. Sorry to bother you. Sorry for asking. Sorry to take a bit of your time. Sorry, can I just say one thing? Have you ever noticed how often we use the word sorry even when nothing is really wrong? We say sorry out of habit and it sounds polite, right? But what happens when we overuse it? See, words have a psychological impact on us. They shape our thoughts, our emotions, and our behaviors. And the words we repeat the most can affect how we see ourselves and also how others see us. When you usually start a conversation with words like sorry, you start with a lower power word, a word that by default signals that something is wrong. It doesn't just change how you sound, it changes how you feel about yourself. And it somehow shrinks your presence, even before you speak your thoughts. In fact, research shows that regularly saying sorry for minor things like asking a question or making a simple request can actually lower your confidence and reinforce feelings of low self-worth. It can also make you less assertive, which means you stop speaking up, you stop standing up for yourself, including your opinions, your needs, and even your boundaries. And do you know what we usually forget? That beyond you and the person you're interacting with, there's someone else listening closely to every word you say. Yes, and they're actually taking it personally. That someone is your brain. Your brain believes the words you repeat. The more you say words like sorry, the more you internalize the idea that you're always at fault. The more you signal that I'm an inconvenience, I'm a burden, I'm getting in the way, I'm bothering them, I'm taking up space that I shouldn't be taking. And slowly, this becomes your own inner story. So what can you do instead? Here are 3 simple steps to stop over apologizing unnecessarily. Number 1, start noticing. Catch yourself in the moment because you can't change what you don't notice. Ask yourself, do I say sorry for anything and everything? Did I do that today? Do I actually need to say sorry in this situation? Awareness is your first shift. Number 2, change your words. And I'll be honest, this is still a work in progress for me too. And it's not just about the word sorry. It's the same with common phrases like no worries or no problem. Start being more intentional in finding alternatives. And I know context can affect how you say it, but start training yourself to use a few go-to phrases. So instead of sorry to bother you, simply say, excuse me. Instead of sorry to ask you this, try saying, mind if I ask you a question, or I'd love to get your thoughts on something if you have a minute. If you're someone like me who says no worries a lot, try replacing it with it's my pleasure or you're welcome. And instead of no problem, when there is really no problem, say it's all good or thank you. Even when you do make a real mistake and you want to own it, instead of saying, oh, my bad, I'm sorry, I didn't notice that, and you start going into over-explaining yourself, simply say, I see what happened here. Thank you for your understanding. I'll work on it. Or you can say, thank you for bringing it to my attention. I'll fix that. You're not avoiding accountability by doing that. It's about maintaining your confidence while being respectful. Say sorry when you mean it, but don't overdo it. Number 3, pay attention to how you feel by just making these small changes. Are you literally making yourself smaller when you speak? Notice the difference in your tone, in your facial expression and body language when you replace apology with gratitude or assertiveness. Sorry I'm late versus thank you for waiting or thank you for your patience. Do you notice the shift? The difference might seem subtle or small, but it reminds your brain that I'm allowed to take space. Remember, saying sorry isn't the problem. Oversaying it is. So choose words that empower you and empower your body so your confidence can shine through. Number 2, downplaying compliments and forgetting to admire yourself. Have you ever noticed how hard it is for some people to just take a compliment? I'll start with myself. When someone used to say, "Wow, you did an amazing job," I would find myself smiling nervously and even feeling a little awkward, and I would kind of just throw a quick comment back as if I'm trying to get over and done with the moment. I'd say something like, "Oh, that was nothing," or, "Anyone could have done that." Sounds familiar? Now here's the thing. Saying that once or twice is one thing. But when it becomes a habit, that tiny moment of so-called modesty or humbleness starts to quietly steal your confidence. And I get it, we are all different. If you grew up in an environment or a culture where standing out wasn't really encouraged, like in an Asian or Middle Eastern collectivistic society, which I'm originally from, then getting a compliment or talking about your achievements might feel uncomfortable. And I also know it's difficult for high achievers because I identify as one. If you're a high achiever, you might not even feel like you did anything special. It's just you're normal. You move fast, you juggle a million things. And when someone says, "Wow, that was impressive," your brain goes, "That? Really? That's just part of my Tuesday." Now, with all that said, here's the problem. When you always brush off compliments, your brain starts skipping over your wins completely. And according to research on self-perception and neural reinforcement, every time we downplay a success, regardless of how small or big, we're training our brain not to register it. We're telling it, "This doesn't count." And if your brain never gets to count the wins, it never builds the confidence that comes with them. And you wonder why you don't feel confident even when you're actually doing great things. Because you're stuck in a loop of doing, but not owning. And over time, that creates doubt. You stop seeing your impact, you forget how far you've come, and you lose the internal proof that says, "Yes, I'm capable. Yes, it's okay to celebrate me." And here's the irony. We admire others all the time. But when we are given the chance to be admired and appreciated, we shy away from it. So why are you leaving yourself out? You deserve to be acknowledged and celebrated. And sometimes it starts by simply accepting a compliment. So what can you do instead? Start small. When someone gives you a compliment, train yourself to at least say, "Thank you." That's it. Take it in. And if you have the urge to follow with something, do not follow with the word "but." Don't say, "Thank you, but it's just luck," or "Thank you, but it's just nothing." Don't half receive it. Don't twist it around from accepting, then dismissing. Even if it was a group effort, acknowledge your part. Instead of saying, "Thanks, but it was the team," say, "Thank you, and I'm proud of how we all work together to make it happen." Now, if you still struggle with how to respond to a compliment, here are a few simple phrases you can use. You can say, "Thank you for noticing. That is considerate of you," or "That is really kind of you." Or you can say, "Thanks, it means a lot to hear that." Or one of my personal favorites, "I appreciate you for noticing and letting me know." And don't forget to smile, because just by receiving the praise, you're allowing your brain to register the win and you are reinforcing confidence. And if you're worried about seeming like a show-off, you're not. Your work showed itself off. You're just owning what's already shining. Bill Treasurer, the author of Courage Goes to Work, says that accepting praise is actually a form of courage because you're not hiding from it. You're standing in the truth of what you did. So be courageous and receive it. Here's your bonus tip if it still feels awkward to receive praise or to talk about your wins. Build the habit of noticing your own achievements. Write them down. Keep a list somewhere of the things that you do in your notes app, your planner, your calendar. Even if it's part of your normal, even if no one actually sees it. Let your brain get used to counting your wins and be proud. Remember, modesty is beautiful, but when it's overdone, it starts messing with your mastery. And you deserve to shine just as much as anyone else. So stop holding yourself back in the background. There you have it. Being nice and kind is awesome. But being so nice and kind to everyone else that you don't notice how you're being unkind to yourself, that's where confidence starts to fade. And if you stuck around to hear the story that inspired today's video, here it is. I was at the bank the other day, waiting for my turn, when a woman walked in and quietly sat across the room. From the moment she entered, she kept saying, "Sorry. Sorry, can I sit here?" Even though the waiting area was almost empty. "Sorry for asking, but do you know what time it is?" Even when she dropped her sweater, she said sorry, as if her presence was somehow a problem. A few minutes later, I complimented her. I said, "The color of your sweater really suits your skin." She gave a quick, uncomfortable smile and said, "Ah, really, it's just my daily sweater, nothing special." Then she turned her head away. That's when the woman sitting next to me leaned in and said, "Nice people aren't confident." Now, maybe the other woman was just having one of those days, but the impression she left was of someone who didn't feel okay taking up space, even when space was clearly available. So here's your reminder. Think before you say sorry and save it for when it's truly needed. Say thank you when someone compliments you and let it land. And cheer for others, but don't forget to cheer for yourself too, because you're doing better than you think. And when you're kind to you, you're not just being nice, you're teaching your brain how to believe in you, and you're building real confidence. If this hits home, hit that subscribe button and feel free to hit those other buttons, like, comment, and share. And always remember, you've got this. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.